Alright, this is a 2010 Honda Civic EX, and today I'm going to try to find out where this noise coming from, okay? It's a vibrating noise, and it's somewhere in that area right there, but hopefully I get able to capture the noise today. Okay, you hear that? It sound like vibrating noise. Okay, it's even sound like it come from the back too, but this noise been bothering me for a while now, and I don't know where it's coming from. I checked everything for looseness and everything seemed tight, but you got that noise right there. I don't know if you able to pick it up, but it sounds like something, you know, vibrating really bad. Okay, so today I'll be replacing the side motor mount. That's a hydraulic one down there. The reason is give a lot of vibration, wheel vibration inside the car. And if I look at it, you see that gap right there. This one right here, where my finger is at. Okay, right here there's no gap whatsoever. Now here's a new one. This is what a new one look like. Okay, so anyway, here's a part number for it right there. Okay, I ordered one of the company on eBay. I think that's his Jack brother eBay motor. Okay, so you can see the gap on that. You know, let me see. Look like you got about 3/4 inch gap right there. Okay, where the one in the car, is no gap at all. Okay, so I think that's about 3/4. Okay, so I think that's where the vibration coming from. So I'm just gonna replace it. Now the one I have in the car, all of them are the aftermarket, because I replaced that before about 3 years ago. Okay, but I didn't pay attention until I did the valve gasket, and you know, around this area here, I see a lot of these rubber particle, and when I look down here and I see there's no gap there, so I know that that motor mount is about to fail, as it's give out this weird vibration inside the car. Okay, so I'm gonna take it off and replace it with the new one. So I'm using 2 jack, one to lift up the car a little bit, and the other one using a block wood. Okay, I put it right underneath the oil pan and just lift it up just a little bit, okay, to support the oil pan, because when you take the bolt out, the engine kind of like drop. Okay, so as I lift the engine up, you can see the gap right there. Okay, so right there, I think it's about a little less than 1/2 inch. Okay, but that's you know, you start see the gap when you lift up the engine there. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a 17mm socket. I'm going to break these loose, 1, 2, 3, the 3 bolt for this upper motor mount here. Okay, so I'm using a 17mm 1/2 inch socket with the I think this about 9 or 10 inch extension breaker bar. Okay, you got to use a breaker bar on this one, because you know, these things on here pretty tight. So anyway, I broke these loose with no problem. You can see right there. Okay, and so what I'll be doing next is take a ratchet and remove that 3 bolt. Okay, so after I broke these 3 bolt loose with the breaker bar, I was able to remove these bolt, you know, by taking the breaker bar off. This looked like a long one right here on the back. As you see, I can do it by hand on these 3 bolts. So here's one. That's what the bolt looked like. This is the one with the AC. So look like that's the same size, and this is the long one. Okay. All right. So here's the upper one, and then this piece right here. You see this piece look like a damper piece. So what I'm gonna do with this piece is I'm just gonna mark them like that. Okay. That way I know the position is in. So I think it's only go one way, but to save me some time, I just mark it like that. Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna take this out. So that piece look like that. And now this thing should slide out like so. Okay, like that. Okay, here's the upper piece. So remember the marking here is on top. Okay, that way you don't put them in backward. Alright. So next thing I'm going to remove is this ground strap right there. So switch the socket to 10 millimeter. And you don't need a breaker bar on this, okay? Use your 1/2 inch ratchet. Removing this. This way it's out of the way for you. Okay. There's the round strap out of the way. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this windshield washer, just the top one off, okay? So it's out of the way, so you can get onto that bolt right there. So basically with a flat screwdriver, just pry it up, this clip right here, okay? And then you just move it out of the way, and you actually can pull this whole thing out, like so. See how that thing joint meant to move, okay? So just take it all the way out. That way it's out of the way. Okay, set that aside like so. That way it's easy to get access to these two bolts, okay? So these bolt is 14 millimeter. Okay, so that one right there. Okay, so one right there, and then one right here, and then another one is right where the fender is at, right in there. Okay, to remove this bracket out, there's 3 bolts. One right there, and one where the fender is at, okay, on the really right side of the car there. So I'm using a 1/2 inch drive, 14 millimeter short socket, and a 6-inch extension. Broke these loose, all 3 of them with the breaker bar, and then I take the breaker bar off and you know, leave the extension and turn the extension to get all 3 bolts out. Okay. So after you get the 3 bolts out, and then you move to the next step. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take this nuts off right there, and that one right there, okay? So this one here is a 19 millimeter, okay? So I'm going to use a breaker bar, and I'm going to break these loose, and I'm going to take them off, okay? Okay, so after I break it loose with the breaker bar, you know, I don't even need to use my ratchet, okay? I just can turn this by hand on both of these. Now, this one a little harder. No problem, okay? Ratchet will do. Okay, it's a nut. And there's the bolt. Okay, that's the bolt. Ooh, look at that, you know. The next one is the 2 motor mount mounting bolt. Okay, so using 17 millimeter 1/2 inch drive. I'm using the deep socket on this one. Okay, I was able to broke that loose with a breaker bar, and now I'm going after this one here. The one here near the brake. Okay, so break it loose with the breaker bar. Take the ratchets and loosen it out. After I got those 2 bolts loose, gently, I didn't even take the bolt out, the bolts still stay on there. I'm gonna gently lift this out. Okay, so using 2 hands, okay? One of them, move this power steering line, you know, move it so it's clear of the motor mount. The other one, after that, you move this line out of the way and you gently lift this thing out, okay? That's what it looked like. and it looked like there's a crack right there. That's probably why there's a gap. Okay, this crack right there. It didn't leak oil. Let's see. It didn't leak oil, but that's what happened. Okay, so what I'll be doing is I'm gonna clean the area up. Okay, I didn't like the way that bolt looked, so I'm probably take a 5 and clean the thread up a little bit and get ready to install the new one in. Okay, when I come to this part of the video, for whatever reason, my video just turned upside down, so I have to capture it in still frame and explain to you. So when I compare the old one, which is this one, to the new one, they look exactly alike, okay? But you can see right here, when I take it off the car, it shows a little gap right there. This one here is about 3/4 inch, okay? And but you look like this, look like the mountain shape right here. You see how this thing look like it's collapsed compared to this one. It just stand up straight. Okay, so that's the difference between the new one and the old one. And the old one back here have a little crack on top here. Okay, to make it easier, okay, for you when you're installing this, make sure this bracket right here is slide all the way to the fender. Okay, you can push it over, and then what you want to do is clear this line first. So you put it in and then you twist it like that, wiggle it. Okay, make sure the power steering line is clear back here. You slide it in like that, and now once it's in position, now you can place it in like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to align these bolts. Now you might have to lift up your engine, you know, up or down to make these bolts align. Okay, so anyway, I already got it in place. Now all I have to do is align the bolt up. Okay, so to tighten it down, first of all, I just start this bolt. I just put it in, hand tight it, okay, and let it loose like that. And see this big gap here. Okay, don't tighten it. Once it gets started, then you can align the one back here. I did the one back here first. So basically I'm using a 3/8. I switched to a 3/8 17mm with the long extension because that way it's easy to get in here to start the bolt. So basically I put it on this side. I put it on this side of the refrigerant line, okay, on this side here, and then it goes straight down behind the power steering. I don't know if it shows clearly on my camera there, but it's go behind that power steering line, okay, and go in like that. That way it's one straight shot. Okay, then what I do is with the other hand wiggle this engine, jot it back and forth like that to align that bolt. Okay, once that thing align, I move into this side. Once again, I'm using a 3/8 drive. On the front one here, it's really easy. Okay, you see it's fit right in, straight down. Okay, on the back one here is a hard one, so start with the back one first. Okay, and then after that, you tighten it down. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this nut in, like so. Okay, so take your time when you do this, because my friend, he didn't take his time and he ended up strip those two bolts. Okay, so when you put it in, remember what I showed you on the spark plug? Go in reverse until you hear the click or a drop. Okay, and then you tighten it. Okay, but on this one you have to wiggle your engine. As you can see, I can still wiggle it with my hand. Okay, all right, so once I got that straight down, I'm pretty much halfway home. So what I do now is I'm gonna align this bracket up. Okay, that bracket by the fender there. Okay, I'm gonna line that bracket up, and once again hand tight the 3 bolts, right? 1 on the fender and 2 on the motor mount. Okay, again I switched the extension to 6-inch extension using a 14mm 3/8 drive socket there. So this one here is go right through those brake line. Okay, and I just guide it in and finger tight these. Okay, just once it gets started, don't tighten it yet. Okay, then you take it out and you go to the 2 bolt right here, which is very common sense. Okay, start these. Okay, once you got all start, then you tighten it up. Okay, so And then don't forget your strap line here too. Okay, strap line, put it on here. See that clip? Let's go right there, like so. Okay. So anyway, I did my homework and I put the torque. So these two are 54 foot-pound. That one is 7.2. Okay, and then this one is 52. I'm just gonna check it. I'm not gonna mess with this because it's already, you know, it's came with the bracket. Now, if your motor mount didn't come with this bracket, then you would tighten this. Okay, and then the 47 is the one for the you know, the upper mount. Okay, so now these, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna torque these down first. Okay, so these 3 bolts on that on the bracket here is 36 foot-pound. Okay, so you got one right here. Okay, I already torqued it ahead of time. Okay, 36 foot-pound. That one there, and then this one here. Again, you have to maneuver it into that brake line using 1/2 inch. Okay, 36 foot-pound, right? So for the 2 mounting on the motor mount is 47 foot-pound. Okay, you got that one right there, and then you got the, I'm using a deep socket. Okay, that way, and I think it's a 9-inch 9-inch extension. Okay, so 47 foot-pound. Okay, so I already torqued it ahead of time, and I don't have strength to move it. So I don't want to strip the head of it. Okay, but 47 foot-pound. So you got that our way. Now these two gonna be, I think, yeah, these two gonna be 19 millimeter. Okay, so I find out when you tighten these, tie the nut down until you feel a little hard, and then tie the bolt down. Okay, and that's why it's even that out. Okay, so you go back and forth like that. Okay, after you tie this down, don't forget your strap here. Okay, that's a 10 millimeter bolt right there. Put the strap back on. Okay, so that you see the strap, the copper, you know, the copper thing, right? Just make sure it's on this side. Okay, tie it on. Okay, so now we're ready to torque this down. Okay, so these two I already marked as 54. Okay, 54 foot-pound. So I'm going to set my torque wrench to 54 foot-pound and torque this nut and that bolt up. Okay, so I'm using 19 millimeter 9 or 10 inch extension here, 1/2 inch, set it to 54 foot-pound. Use 2 hands. Okay, one here and one here. Torque down to 54 foot-pound. After that, I'm going to move to this one. I'm just going to check this one. It's supposed to be 52 foot-pound. Okay, I'm going to check it to see if it came on the right torque. Okay, so that's a 17 millimeter bolt, 52 foot-pound. Look like I don't have to do anything because that thing look like it's tie on with 52 foot-pound. Okay, so next thing I'm going to move to is okay, for the strap here, this bolt is 7.2 foot-pound. All right, so to slide this in is really simple. What you want to do is clean up this area where the mounting bolt going to be. Okay, and you might want to put some silicone on here and there. Some people use grease. I didn't like use grease because you know, the roll mount is rubber. Okay, so I use silicone. Put on the top and the bottom there. That way, slide in easy, and all you have to do, put it in like that. Okay, and wiggle it and slide it in into these bolt align. So this is really simple. Okay, like that. There it is. Okay, so align the bolt like that. Okay, see these two bolt align. Remember, I mark it so it's on top. Okay, and then that bolt align. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these bolt in and tighten it up. Okay, so I got those two started with my hand. This one to my left hand here, or the right side of the car. Okay, remember this little damper, I mark it, so it's gonna go in like that. Okay, So now I'm going to put this bolt in. Now this bolt might be slightly misaligned, so I may have to use my hand to wiggle it to get it started. Okay. Okay, so I was able to start with a finger, tie it up using a 17 millimeter. I use in a deep socket, about 9 to 10 inch extension. Okay, that way I can torque them to. As you can see, this one here, you have to move the hose out of the way a little bit, but it will fit in there. This one back here, okay, you press it and you just push the rubber piece back. It will fit in there. Okay. And then this one here is so easy. Okay, so now after I tied it up with a ratchet, now I'm going to torque it down to 47 foot-pound on all three of these bolts. Okay, so 47 foot-pound, that long bolt, this one, and this one. Okay, so now the last thing to do is put back that windshield washer funnel thing. So next thing you're going to do, you want to put this windshield washer thing back. Okay, so don't do what I did. Okay, when you take this one out, make sure there's 3 clips on here. Okay, make sure you take all 3 clips out, because otherwise when you're messing with that, your hand accidentally touches and the 2 clips gonna pop off, and then you have to go look for it. Okay, so I was able to find all of them, lucky for me, but you know, you could have got stuck in there. And so that way save you some waste trying to keep a time. Okay, so basically this in here, make sure this area is clean where the O-ring is at. Make sure this tube is clean. Okay, and basically you just slide this in like so. Okay, and there's an O-ring there, so wiggle it, and then what you want to do, you want to turn this so there's a cut right here. Okay, and you want to slide this in there and secure it with that clip. Okay, so wiggle that thing until you go all the way down. There it is. Okay, like that. Now you secure this with the clip. Okay, like that. Okay, and then the other 2. Okay, and then this one here. All right, lastly, remove your jack. Okay, before I go inside, start up the car. As you can see, now here's a gap. Okay, I stick my finger through there. So I think it's about 3/4 to a 1/2 inch gap right now. Okay, so I'm gonna go inside, start up the car, and see if I can still feel that vibration. Here I am back inside the car. Let's see if this worth. There you go. I don't hear that noise anymore. Okay, so I think the reason it made this job easier than the last time I replaced it. Now, the last time I replaced it, the whole motor mount is leaking oil and it's, you know, got a big tear on it. Okay, but anyway, when I support the put the jack underneath the oil pan, I didn't pay attention to the gap. Okay, so as a result, I have to adjust the jack up and down so this thing align. Okay, so to save you some time, in the beginning I raise up into the gap is there, and then I take it out and then I put it back in, and it seemed like everything aligned. You notice when I loosen these 2 bolts, the engine didn't drop at all. That's tell you that if you have this gap, I guess it's about 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch. Okay, it will make your engine straight or aligned to the point where you easily can take out and put in the bolt. Okay, so that's my tip, and that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye.